Alright guys, this is a short game I played earlier on just on my phone while I was waiting for my bushcraft session to start. My opponent's rated 1622 at the start of the game, spoiler alert, and we get a Smith-Morra, and I cannot tell you guys how much I'm enjoying this particular opening. So it's the Smith-Morra accepted. We have e6 from black. I think maybe knight f3 is the more accurate move here, but I bring my bishop out. He pins my knight, so this is like the pin variation of the Morra. And now I develop my knight, and we trade off. Okay, so I have the bishop pair. I'm still a pawn down. We have knight e7 now. So I go ahead and castle. Queen to c7. So as we work through these, figure out what you would play in each position. I can't actually remember the game. I just sent it to myself saying, this is a good one. This is one you have to cover. So clearly here there's a couple of issues. The queen is looking at this pawn. This pawn here is also undefended. So there's a standard Morra move, I guess, queen e2, there you go. Queen e2 lines up the queen with the opponent's king. Defends this pawn, also defends the bishop. Okay, so we're all good. We have a6, which is probably preparing b5, but b5 we're never usually afraid because we'll drop the bishop back. However, that would hang this pawn on c3. So I play bishop b2, right? Lining up my two bishops in their absolute favourite positions, left side of the board for white, and gunning down there. So we have b5 anyway. I just drop my bishop back to b3, again a standard Morra move. And this is just great fun. Okay, so black castles, rook a goes to c1, obviously, because the queen is on the c file, right? This is all standard stuff. And after, if the rook f goes to d1, sometimes goes to e1, then we're in very familiar territory. Okay, knight b goes to c6. And now I decide to push on through. I'd love to open up this c-file, take advantage of the fact that the queen's on there. If they take, I can take back with the bishop, the queen, or the rook. They don't take at all, so I capture, and A captures. So now here's the situation. So I've got wonderful bishops. White has this extra pawn on the d-file, but it's a backwards pawn even right now. So what would you play here? What would I play here? I've no idea. I can't even remember. E5 is an idea, but I'd probably be thinking about attacking. So maybe knight in. Okay, wow. That's a good move, Hunty. Well done. Well found. Okay, so we're taking advantage of the fact that this knight is pinned. Therefore, it is not guarding this square. Queen can't take on that square because my knight is guarding it. So this comes with tempo. They push their pawn and the bishop just slides back. So now this queen is somewhat neutered. However, black has started to improve his backwards pawn. Okay, black now places rook from f8 over to d8. And now we are coming in with the knight. And again, look at these kind of Danish style bishops. Loving these guys. So what's the idea here? I mean, I'm not really threatening to capture just yet. We provoke the kick. The knight now comes back. Why does it come back to h3 rather than f3? Well, I want to get out the queen's way, right? I want my queen to be able to come here, and there's an immediate checkmate threat supported by my dark squared bishop against g7. So black now breaks in the middle, and my queen comes in anyway, right? Just ignore the threat in the center. They now blunt the bishop. So what are we going to do? There might be ideas here of sacrificing on e6. What would Hunty do? I have no idea. Okay, coming in with the knight, putting triple pressure now on here. So now the threat is bishop takes, pawn takes, knight takes, forking queen and rook. So something must be done. Pushes again, trying to block off the center. Okay, now my knight dives into h5. I'm threatening mate another way. Okay, so this bishop right now isn't having the happiest of times. Its diagonal has been closed. The way is shut. However, as a consequence, my light squared bishop is having a much better time of it. Plus this pawn, remember, is pinned. This pawn is also pinned by the queen. 2 absolute pins. Neither of these pawns can move. So what's black going to do? Blocks in with his knight. Queen takes knight. Wow, wow, wow. And then that's just checkmate. Absolute beauty. Okay, let's briefly go over the game review because there are a couple of issues. I've got one big miss in this game. Did you spot it in the game? Okay, but book move. That's fine. Book perfect, excellent, and takes. Okay, so now we're fine. We're plus 0.45, so it's all normal. And despite being a pawn down, white is even slightly better here. Why? It's all about the activity. Look at black's pieces. They're all on the back rank, right? I've got 2 pieces out on the board. I've got a central pawn. I'm even ready to castle. That's the beauty of the Morra. One of the beauties. Okay, so knight e7. Good move, apparently. Castles is excellent. And this is not the most accurate. Okay, so queen e2 is good. Dropping the bishop back and saying, help yourself to the pawn, matey. That's an interesting one. So what happens if the queen takes, fish? Bishop a3. Okay. Okay. But we're not much better. Okay, so after this move... Okay, I'm 0.78. Which is actually a better eval than what it just gave me. So, okay, bishop e2 is not ideal here. Rook to d1. Don't really see how it's half a pawn better, but apparently it is. There we go. We drop back, and that's also inaccurate. Again, it really wants me to play this bishop move. This knight is undefended. It wants me to play bishop a3. The knight is undefended, so black would have had to do something about that. But I'm liking this. c4 is good. We're even at this point in time. That's absolutely fine. Moving my other rook over is slightly more accurate. It doesn't like this move. Again, it wants me to play my rook over. That's interesting. Okay, so here it says black should have played the queen to b6. Okay, but this is all about causing problems. You know, we're causing psychological trauma to our opponents with all these threats. Bishop g3 better, but I like my bishop pointing down there, so no. Okay, rook fd8 is not great. Knight g5 is a great move. h6, and now this is the miss. Tricky move, this one. Okay, so let's play it through. Okay, knight takes e6 or knight takes f7. Both of these are pretty much winning moves. Why? So let's see. So let's start with knight takes f7. Okay, and if the king takes, we have queen g4. And the point is, queen g4 or queen h5 check. Either one's okay. The point is that we are threatening to come in here and just trash the king and all his stuff. Bishop's looking down at there, so let's say they push d5. Oh, they can't push d5. No, sorry, they can't push e5. d5 they can push. Okay, at which point we don't even go in with the queen. We can, but even more accurate is moving the rook over. Okay, so I'm guessing then the pawn can't take because we can dive in there as well. Oh my goodness. So this really is for people who love attacking. And I'm using it as a way to learn better attacking. Okay, so that's if knight takes there. What if knight takes here? I guess it's just the same story. F takes. Now we are threatening to peel open the king. Again, the queen comes into g4. They block with their knight, and we just take the knight. Wow, look at that one. There is nothing to be done. How do they stop mate? Say knight c8 is the second best move. knight c8 doesn't just give up the knight outright, but bishop takes e6. Wow, wow, wow. So many layers of horrible things that you can inflict on your opponent. So yeah, I thought that was a really nice one. The you know, although it kind of criticised some of my moves and said I really gave away the advantage here when I retreated my knight, but it still said I got an 1800 game, which ain't bad for a 5-minute, my 5-minute blitz that goes over 20 moves, so I'm quite happy with that. Take the points. Thought you'd enjoy it. Thank you for watching. See you later.